The goblins' eyes almost popped out of their heads when they saw Kirsty, Shannon, and the narwhals racing around them. "It is those fairies again," one of them yelled. "Run for it!" But before they could move, the seaweed rope tightened around them, stopping them in their tracks. The goblins held out with rage as another length of seaweed rope tied them up in knots. "Help!" the goblin shrieked. Rachel, Kirsty, and Shannon rode their narwhals over the goblins and took the moon pearl out of their hands. The goblins scowled at them. "When we let go of the rope, it will take you a little while to free yourselves," Shannon told them. "That will give you time to think about how naughty you have been." "Horrible fairy," the goblins muttered rudely, poking their tongues out at her. Shannon quickly touched her wand to the creamy surface of the moon pearl, and it instantly shrank to fairy size. "Thank you, my friends," Shannon called to the narwhals, who were still dancing happily around the goblins. She waved her wand, showering herself and Rachel and Kirsty with sparkles. "See you again soon." "Bye-bye, bye-bye," the narwhals chorused. The next moment the girls found themselves whizzing through the air as Shannon's magic whisked them up out of the sea. "I think the goblins would rush back to Jack Frost now to tell him they have lost the moon pearl," Shannon called to Rachel and Kirsty, "which means that hopefully they will leave Hawaii before any humans spot them." She glanced down and pointed with her wand. "Look, girls." Rachel and Kirsty gazed down and saw that they were now flying over fairyland. Rachel gasped. "Look at the river," she cried. The twisting river that wound its way through the green fairy meadows had burst its banks. Lots of the toadstool houses were already surrounded by water. "Fairyland is even more badly affected than the human world because everything is so small," Shannon said. Kirsty and Rachel were dismayed to see that the pink and white Fairyland Palace was also flooded. Shannon swooped down and in through the window of Royal Observatory with the girls right behind her. Inside they found King Oberon, Queen Titania, and Cedric, the royal astronomer. We knew you would not let us down," King Oberon declared with a smile, as Shannon handed the moon pearl to Cedric. Cedric beamed as he hurried to the crystal box. He placed the moon pearl next to the dawn and twilight pearls, and all three shimmered with a magical glow. "Come and look out of the window, girls," said Queen Titania. Kirsty and Rachel ran to see. "The water level's going down already," Kirsty cried, relieved. They all watched happily as fairies began popping out of their little houses, cheering and clapping. "This calls for a celebration," Queen Titania proclaimed. "And what better way to celebrate than to finish our luau?" Shannon and the girls glanced at each other in delight as the queen hurried off to organize the party. Soon the luau was in full swing on the beach again. Kirsty, Rachel, and all the fairies joined in the singing and dancing. The ocean was full of happy creatures bobbing on the surface, including their narwhal friends. Even the baby Hawaiian narwhals had made the trip to celebrate with them. "This is the best party ever," Rachel sighed happily as the sun began to set on Fairyland. Just then Queen Titania called for attention. "We want to thank our great friends, the narwhals, for helping to save Fairyland." The narwhals bobbing in the sea looked at each other in delight, and Kirsty thought she saw one of the baby Hawaiian narwhals blushing. "And we must also thank Shannon, the ocean fairy, and of course Rachel and Kirsty," Queen Titania continued. "Without them, Jack Frost would still have our precious pearls." The Queen pointed her wand at Rachel and Kirsty, and a shower of fairy dust fell gently around them. When it cleared, the girls gasped with delight. They were each wearing a beautiful gold ring set with a rosy pink pearl that looked just like the dawn pearl. "Thank you, Rachel," and Kirsty said gratefully. "And now you must be getting home," said the Queen. Shannon gave the girls a big hug. "Goodbye," she cried. "Goodbye," Rachel and Kirsty called, waving to all their friends as the Queen's magic sent them whizzing home. A few seconds later, the girls found themselves on the beach near Grant's house and back to their normal size. "Wasn't that an amazing adventure?" Kirsty said happily as they went up the cliff steps towards the house. "Oh yes," Rachel agreed, admiring a beautiful ring. "Our fairy adventures are always amazing, but this one under the sea was extra special."